If you woke up this morning and decided to watch Netflix, listen to some Spotify, or get your daily dose of Twitter bants, you had a bit of a problem. A massive DDoS cyber attack limited access to these websites and more, including Reddit. And predictably, a lot of people are already saying Russia was behind the attacks. And to me at least, this is a logically inconsistent claim because according to the mainstream media, Russia is behind WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks are widely discussed and spread on Twitter. Hashtag PodestaLeaks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 14 have all trended on Twitter for several hours at a time. So if Russia is behind WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks is a major topic of discussion on Twitter, why would Russia attack Twitter? It doesn't make sense. What does make sense, however, is the US government or related entities, maybe even the Clinton Foundation, conducting these cyber attacks. Although I doubt anyone in the Clinton Foundation or campaign for that matter understands cyber attacks, so maybe somebody in the shadow campaign, like a super PAC, because they never do anything nefarious, right? So why would this happen? Well, let's look at what the US could gain by committing these domestic cyber attacks. They frame Russia as the enemy among impressionable millennials. That's a big one, considering millennials are generally anti-war and are too young to remember the Cold War, when the fear of the Soviet Union, Russia, launching us into nuclear Armageddon was based in a real and present threat. So what else might the US gain by knocking out Twitter for a couple hours? Well, WikiLeaks has been releasing chunks of the Podesta emails every day at about 7 a.m. East Coast time. When did the cyber attacks begin? Well, I first started seeing reports at about 7 a.m. East Coast time. Coincidence? I don't know, you tell me. So today's leaks were really juicy, too. A journalist emailed the Clinton campaign saying he was going to publish a story about Clinton repeating all her mistakes from 2008. And the Clinton campaign furiously shot back a dozen reasons why he was wrong in his analysis. Another journalist for The Hill and The Observer sent an observation to the Hillary campaign. Whenever he wrote about Bernie Sanders, he got a flood of thank you notes from the grassroots supporters. Whenever he wrote about Hillary, he got a couple thank yous from members of her campaign. Another email. The Clinton campaign received an email from the Sandler Foundation about a study suggesting the U.S. is no longer a democracy. Yeah, so funny. The U.S. no longer a democracy. Another email suggests the Clinton campaign repeatedly broke the law in 2008 by coordinating with the super PAC to get more names and emails in their mailing list, and they might have done it again in 2014. And my personal favorite, George Soros' personal cell phone number was leaked. Oops. So, did Russia launch the cyber attack as a preemptive strike against the U.S. to flex its muscle? Maybe. Who knows? Vice President Joe Biden did recently announce the U.S. was planning a cyber attack against Russia, so maybe Russia wanted to strike first. Russia's also been calling its children and families of the government employees home, stocking up food in its largest cities, and making sure its citizens know where the nearest fallout shelters are located. In short, Russia is preparing for a nuclear holocaust because of President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and Secretary Hillary Clinton's saber-rattling. But in my humble opinion, for whatever that's worth, it's entirely more likely this is a false flag event to make Russia look like the bad guy. You know, so the USA can continue justifying taking bold steps toward a nuclear Armageddon that could literally destroy civilization as we know it, and potentially the planet as a whole. You know, a nuclear Armageddon, sort of like the one Hillary Clinton and John Podesta said will happen in one of the emails.